James Matthew Barrie was a prominent Scottish writer and playwright born May 9, 1817 in Kirriemuir, Angus, Scotland, and died June 19, 1937 in London, England. Barry grew up in a working class family and was the ninth of 10 children. He lost his older brother, David, at a young age, and this deeply affected his relationship with his parents, who never got over losing David and never stopped comparing James to him. The arguments presented by the author within the text are the value of imagination. Barry emphasizes the importance of imagination and playing a child life, portraying Neverland as a world where imagination knows no bounds. The loss of childhood innocence. Barry explored the idea that as children grow older, they lose their innocence and sense of wonder. Peter Pan himself represents the desire to remain forever young and free from adult responsibilities, and the role of parental abandonment. Barry highlights the consequence of parental neglect through the character of Wendy, who assumes a motherly role to the lost boys in the absence of their parents. From my perspective, what Barry proposed in Peter Pan is a reminder of the importance of keeping the spark of imagination and adventure alive throughout our lives. The story of Peter Pan and the Lost Boys invite us not to lose the ability to be surprised and enjoy the magic of childhood, even when we face the responsibilities of adulthood. It also underscores the importance of family connections and home as a safe haven in a often chaotic world. In summary, I see the world as a celebration of the imagination, the nostalgia of childhood, and the appreciation of our dosed relationships.
Two ideas could be relating in the Peter Pan and his friends, the Lost Boys, represents the idea of eternal childhood. They do not want to grow up and face the responsibility of the adulthood, which is symbolic of the resistance of many people to take on the responsibilities of adulthood. The Peter Pan story serves as a metaphor that reflects these human feelings and desires to escape from the reality of maturity. The purpose of the author of Peter Pan is to create a magical and timeless story to capture the imagination of the readers, adults, especially children. I think what motivates the author, apart from the fact that the Leon Davis brothers was the idea of preserving innocence and childhood in a world that becomes too serious and adult life. What the author expresses in the story is opinion, because Barry represents her visions of childhood as a magical, careful period, but also raises questions about the cost of never growing up and facing the responsibilities of adult life. The author communicates intention is recognized in the way he represents the story and the characters. Barry uses language of full charms and wording to immerse the reader in a world of fantasy. He also uses the humor and emotion to convey his message about childhood and the importance of keeping the imagination alive. Similarities with the current context, the Peter Pan story may be relevant as we all continue to deal with the transition from the childhood to adulthood and face responsibility and change of the adulthood. And today, many people may feel pressured by the social expectations and fear of aging, leading to desire to stay young and avoid responsibility. And another people that I will give the book would be The Journey to Neverland or The Magical World of Peter Pan.
From my point of view, I find that the word Peter Pan is a fascinating and timeless story. I am attracted to the idea of keeping childhood alive in the earth and the celebration of the imagination that the word promotes. However, I also recognize that there are controversial aspects of the work, such as the representation of gender and certain elements that can be considered offensive from a cultural and racial perspective. I think it's important to read and discuss the work with a critical mind, recognizing but its positive aspects and its challenge, and considering how these elements are reflected in the society and literature in general. Peter Pan is the story of a boy who refuses to grow up and who lives in Neverland, a magical place populated by pirates, Indians, and other fantastic characters. Peter takes Wendy, Darling, and her brothers, John and Michael, to Neverland, where they have exciting adventures with the Lost Boys and battle the evil Captain Hook. The story explores themes of childhood, imagination, the search for eternity, and the need to grow emotionally.